Very keen early in this game, Ray, to see the kicking tactics of North Queensland. Saw a rare night for the back three of Melbourne, really struggling under the Benji Marshall high kicks. I noticed Billy Slater in the warm-up practicing getting his foot back behind the try line in catching the bombs.
Feels clear, boys.
To try and maybe diffuse one of those high kicks and bring it back to the 20. But watch this for a kick-off too. He's the best.
Kyle Felt sends it high. Comes down about 10 metres out, well marked, and they bring the ball back straight away through Bromwich, who's put down. One of two Bromwiches originally named, but Kenny's out. They play the ball back now. Jesse to his feet. Melbourne. It's like Finucane on the far side. In fact, now it's the 12, Ryan Hoffman. Outside the 20 they come now. Up this time it's Finucane. With the headband on. Outside the 30. Out wide of the little half-back Croft. They're going to kick early. It's down. Thurston's going back to cover. They come through quickly. The ball's gone down ground. Picked up by the little half-back Croft. Back on the inside. Thrown forward by Suolasi Vanavalu, and the scrum will pack down, and we almost had a shock start with a try to Melbourne Storm after seconds of the game.
I'm not sure why he tried to pass it.
Yes, mate.
Vanavalu. It's an opportunist kick, and they got the bounce. And then Brodie Croft, this is on, the pass is on, but this one's not. Just had to go to ground, one tackle left.
Yeah, he went very close, Gavin Cooper, to grabbing the man before he receives the football in Vunivalu back on the inside. The referee was okay with it. They saw the winger Kyle Felt rush up, and that's why the kick went through. And Jonathan Thurston actually played at it, and it happened right in front of you, Darren Lockyer. Good evening.
Yeah, they did it last week too. Winterstein goes back early, and the Storm obviously saw that last week and tried to exploit it with the man on the outside. So a little bit of expansive play by the Storm early.
So now they are pinned inside their 20 after the scrum win.
Yeah, you're right, Lockie. So I thought it was Felt, but it was Winterstein who was very deep and came flying up. When you run up that quickly, you can't turn and chase.
That's Scott. He got rattled up before that Cohen Hess, I can tell you. Campbell sends it away on the outside of the other front rower, Jordan McLean. He's held by three defenders.
Jordan's first time up against his old club.
Campbell again, out the back, Tamalolo first, and away to Morgan. Then it goes back on the outside. They have the ball out wide and take the tackle, 45 metres out now from the Melbourne Storm goal line. No score on the board here, only 2.5 gone. Fifth tackle kick. It seemed to touch the hand of the player. They're all onside. They come through. Thurston goes high. It's claimed by Stimson, and he'll play the ball just inside his own 20. After Billy Slater probing.
It was a missed kick there from Michael Morgan, but again, it's very different to see a ball bounce from a high kick. You just wonder whether last week it's in the minds of the Melbourne back three. No one was in any great hurry to get there. It was a cut-out pass to
and
good ball to
through
Hoffman.
Back on the inside it came to Munster, who sent the pass to Hoffman in the first instance, I think you'll find. Now back the other way. Smith drifting across field. Finds Croft, Slater. They've got numbers out wide. It comes. Davida Balu. He's down the touchline, away from one. The cover got him. Javed Bowen was there to bring him down. Fifth tackle. Swung back the other way. Slater kicks. Not his best. They'll attack the football and take it through Felt. They'll bring the ball back from his own 10-metre line.
And that's why fullbacks don't kick very often. I think it went to the wrong guy, but they're playing very expansive football in the opening stretches, the Melbourne Storm, side to side, and they're having a little bit of success out wide, I'll tell you.
David Middleton tells me this big winger on the right-hand side is too short of 50 tries in 50 games. If he does that, he'll equal the effort of one of the greatest wingers the game's ever seen in 63, Johnny King with St George. So he's on the cusp of history. We can grab a couple tonight. If he doesn't, he equals the performance of Semi Radradra with Parramatta in the same number of games. That was a good pass, Scott, and they picked it up quite well, the touch judges. It's a bad blue, isn't it?
Well, I'm telling you, I've been watching Jake Grenville. He throws more forward passes from dummy half than any other hooker in the game. He gets away with a lot of them. I reckon 4 to 5 the last 2 weeks.
So it's a dead set photo finish with a few, Fat.
This happens a lot, and they don't get picked up. And tonight, early, they have. And Hopefully it won't cost him if you're a North Queensland supporter.
I feel like we're transformed back to the 1990s, the three of us being together in Collingwood. 1994.
It's been a while.
Those were the days. Darren Lock is on the touchline.
Yeah, just on the conditions. The temperature's perfect, the ground's perfect. There is a bit of wind swirling around, so it could be a difficult night for the back three.
Thanks, Darren. Here's the ball with Munster. Oh, he's got them offside. To compound the forward pass from the scrum, they can see the penalty 31 metres out and just off centre field. They'll kick to the eastern side.
I love these situations in Melbourne Storm. Set restarts, attacking opposition area. As Buddy pointed out, they've been prepared to throw the football wide. The inside ball on this occasion to Ryan Hoffman.
It came from Munster. He's at first receiver. He's got it now. Drifts across field, finds a straight runner. Cross. Oh, big tackle, Thurston. Put him on the broad of his back. Half-back on half-back. Munster acting half. Oh, he's got him again.
You've gone early, mate. No, not quick. Gone early.
McLean it is. You've gone early, mate, he said.
So the crackdown continues on the 10-metre area, and they'll have a shot at goal.
No, don't play, mate. And back we come. The kick of goal still to be taken by Cameron Smith from directly in front. 2 from 3 last week in the beaten Melbourne Storm team against the West Tigers.
Well, we have seen a multitude of penalties in the opening fortnight, and players will need very quickly to learn that they've just got to stay back that little bit longer. The referee will tell them when to go. Cameron Smith having a smile over this one. He's got it over before it's left the boot.
And he's right. 2-0. Melbourne Storm lead the way. 2 points to 0. And back they come to the centre of the halfway. So it's all well and good for this to be applied, but it's got to be applied to both teams, of course. And there's a propensity to hammer a side early in the game and then forget about it towards half-time and then later in the game as well. Only Telstra mobile customers can stream the NRL data free on Australia's best mobile network. Download the NRL official app now. Kyle Feld again back at the centre of halfway.
I can tell you, Ray, I've done some research, and there's an average of 20 penalties per game so far this year as compared to 13 or 14.
Yeah, his research it's to lean
years.
over and ask Mido next to him.
Oh, nothing's changed, I can tell you, in 30 years. Giving credit to yourself when Mido passed you a note. Here's the ball. 15 out. So Melbourne Storm draw first blood. 2-0. Hoffman plays it. Finucane away on the outside. Held in the tackle now. Almost held in the tackle. We've had a debate about this young fella's name. He's now Nelson Asafa Solomona. You weren't at the production meeting, Paul. It's Asafa. Here we are on halfway. Will Chambers. Croft. Oh, Munster claimed by Morgan and driven back in a very good tackle.
That's really good defence. Good defence by the Cowboys. They're coming up. That cost them 10 metres there.
That was Cohen Hess who made the impact, and there's a kick by Smith. They're going to let it bounce now. Thurston's get to it. Oh, dear, oh, dear. They fed it back. Croft's got it. It's on the ground. Then it's been kicked. Oh, he's played it. That'll be 6 to go, surely.
Hand over.
Oh, no.
Leave it there, boys.
Melbourne kicked at it.
Yeah, it looks like Gavin Cooper might have got a boot on that. The referees have missed it if he did. He's limping away to the side. Now he takes it up, Gav.
In the middle.
Well, they were pretty close to it. I can only assume it must have been the Melbourne foot that saw the ball go backwards. There it is. Oh, no, it was. It was the young halfback. Croft. Well done. Brady Croft kicked it back. Well done by the officials. Oh, there's a forward pass again by Granville for Taumalolo. Granville, Morgan, Cohen Hess, and now he gets a bit of his own medicine with Curtis Scott. Morgan, dummies inside, outside Thurston. Then the ball goes away on the outside, but the wing three-quarters held in Antonio Winterstein. 10 metres out. Back the other way, Thurston, crossfield kick coming down just on the goal line. They went high for it, beautifully taken out the back, kick back away, intercepted by Cameron Smith. Offside.
Cameron Smith.
Offside, and the penalty's right beside the post. I'll level up here. You would imagine it 2-all.
Yeah, another very long advantage played there. Cameron Smith saying, sir, what are you talking about?
Billy, it's another 10-metre penalty, right?
Yeah, it was the last tackle, played advantage.
Shot, guys. Thank you.
And he had Smith offside early on.
Got a call, mate, to say you're 3 metres
About to be 2-all.
And the kick to come from Jonathan Thurston. There's a shot from behind those posts. And he'll kick this and make it 2-all after 11 minutes of play. Thurston and Smith. Kicked all 4 goals last week in the loss to the Broncos. And he'll kick this one tonight at his first attempt. He guides it between the uprights, 2-all. 2-all. Straight after this game, the Footy Show with Aaron Molan, Andrew Johns, Ryan Girdler from here at Amy Park. Superstars Billy Slater, Jonathan Thurston join the panel, and JT has a very special announcement to help the victims of the Tathra bushfire. So stand by back for the Footy Show after the game's over.
Well, let's hope we can get some rhythm into this game now, and
Time your run,
don't get too many more penalties. Players will stay back on side. Melbourne happy to use the football. North Queensland defending very well up and in. Matt Scott brings it forward.
Then Hampton took it well, the fullback, and gave it to the big front rower. Through centre field they go. Number 5, Antonio Winterstein, came in from the left wing. Granville acting half on the 30. Clean with it now up towards the 40, but well attended by his former teammates, led by Cameron Munster. 2-all the score. Calmalolo. Almost to halfway, 5 short of it. Granville inside ball first, a little bit of space, goes through it. Then he's looking for support. Oh, he threw it away, and it's claimed by Hoffman from Melbourne.
2 of the old stages there. Thurston wasn't going to let Cameron get away.
Out of frustration, Thurston rushed over the left-hand side and put a great tackle on Will Chambers after that mistake. Joe Stimson with it now on halfway. Smith. Flat pass away from the front rower, Jesse Bromwich. He's got them for a strip or a hand on the ball.
It's a very poor penalty late in the tackle count. By tackle 4 and 5, you've done the hard work. You can't give the opposition another set. And Cameron Smith is having a chat with his players, opting not to kick the touch, and Jesse Bromwich takes the first carry.
He meets the 2 front rowers, McLean and Scott. Plays it, Smith. Croft. Oh, rattled up in a tackle there, the young front rower, the Safa Solomona. Back the other way, Smith. Finucane in centre field. Clean with him over the top. Another defender underneath. 15 metres out. Calmalolo. A run from acting half. Smith. Slater. Short ball away. Solomona again. Drop down. 9 metres out from the goal line. Inside pass to Slater. Slater got the ball back. They'll score surely. Yeah, great try. Joe Stimson reaches out, puts it down. Beautiful work around the dummy half. And all of a sudden they lead 6-2 with a kick to come. Melbourne Storm.
Yeah, the playmakers from to the left Cameron Munster was at first receiver. Brodie Croft very wide. But a decision was made here by Cameron Smith on the Harvey Norman replay to bring Billy Slater. He attracted 2 defenders, including Jonathan Thurston and Joe Stimson. A rare start in the top grade in the run-on side. Is right on the spot there. You see Jonathan Thurston comes in, gets interested. That opens up the hole for Stimson. Step round one man, slams the football down. And Melbourne open the scoring with the try. Darren Lockyer.
Yeah, that was the second of 2 set plays. You see the first one here. It's a pet play for the Storm with Smith coming out, going back to Billy. And Billy just hangs around the back like he's not interested. Same spot. This time Thurston had to double up on his tackle, and there was a little gap out there.
And when I say open the
Good
scoring
set play.
with the try, I mean the first try they get.
I could see in the replay there, Billy was actually yelling at Cameron. Just do whatever the move is, X, Y, let's do this. And just a simple little play which created the little hole. And Joe Stimson, I watched a bit of him play for the East Club, Melbourne's feeder club up in the Intrust Super Cup up there in Brisbane and Queensland. A good player, solid, and well done to him.
That's really the danger and the influence of Billy Slater, isn't it? Even the great Jonathan Thurston saw danger coming, so he came in at an angle. And that opened up the hole on the outside. And Cameron Smith looking to put his side a converted try in front, and does so.
Straight between the uprights. They lead now by 8-2.
And that comes on a penalty late in the count.
Kyle, wait for the time, mate.
Peter, you highlighted the late
Stay
penalty,
behind.
Cohen Hess. That led to the try. They had them on the 5th tackle, 30 metres out. They give them another set of 6.
Yeah, you just can't afford to do it, especially quality opposition. They will make you pay. You just can't afford to work hard and get to tackle 4 or 5 and give a piggyback to the opposition. Melbourne great front runners, we know that. Ryan Hoffman, he's had a really strong start today and gets an offload, finds its way to Finucane.
He came by Smith after the offload by Ryan. 31 metres out. Now they're going to kick early tackle count, looking for a 40-20. But they get back and cut it off through Kyle Felton. He'll bring it back towards the 20. He's got the young fullback Hampton on his shoulder, but takes the tackle, and it was a good kick chase, and here's Slater dragging him back inside the 20.
Yeah, that's Cameron Smith all over. Loves to kick after scoring points, and they'll waste tackles here because North Queensland are still struggling to get back. So you actually want to play the ball if you're a defensive team. They've wasted 3 now with Justin O'Neill, and they've gone 10 metres.
Granville finally gets back there. Cohen Hess, strong run up over the 40, so better field position now in the 4th tackle. Now back to McLean. Thurston, he had to pluck that out from behind him and quickly got away to Hampton. He had to do the same thing. Hampton's downfield. Met by the defence of the try scorer Stimson and plays on the 5th tackle. Comes back to Thurston. He'll put it high. And it's coming down and they take it well through the winger. Chiliasi Vunivalu, he's gone straight through. He's over the 40.
Got
Hampton,
support.
he's got Adokar. No! He threw a pass, it's been knocked down by Hampton. Picked up. Adokar was under the post. Dear, oh dear. They've got 6 to go. Munster, Smith, Croft, Stimson looking for his second. He's got them for inside the 10 anyway. They'll probably score at this set.
They'll cop that, North Queensland.
Talk about a bomb try. Wow.
Poor Ben Hampton, how would he feel going across? He's got Vunivalu in full flight with Josh Adokar backing up on the inside. Really shoddy defence, Hess and McLean on Vunivalu. And then he's throwing the dummy. Should have passed the first time.
Double pump champ.
Yeah.
He's a try-scoring machine. He's not a try-scoring setting-up machine.
You know wingers can't pass. Look at Craig. What about that? Get up and have a walk, Craig. Get to go and settle down out the back.
The jip rock will get a workout.
David Bowen has copped one up on the nose, the eye.
Oh, dear. Plenty of claret there, unfortunately. Let's see if we can see. We think it's Thurston through friendly fire. Here it is. Oh, yeah. Right wrist got him right on the eye, I suppose.
I've never seen an incident like that and thought it was friendly. I don't quite get the terminology. I know what you mean. Here's Vunivalu back at fullback. And he goes in between two big men in Hess and McLean. Now, if he passes there, Josh Adokar is under the posts, and Melbourne have built up a big lead early, but he throws throws a dummy, brings the ball back. There it is, now throws, and the fullback is too close. He gave Ben Hampton a chance to interfere with the pass.
Anyway, he's coming off, this young fella. So
Yeah, well done by Hampton, actually. I mean, he stayed on his man, saved the try.
the number 17's coming on, Ethan Lowe, to replace David Bowen.
Well, that'll mean a reshuffle with a back rower coming into the game.
Hang on, no, it's here, mate, it's here.
Ethan Lowe will...
I've seen him play in the centres before,
Well,
Pete.
he's slotting straight in there. He will go to left centre. He'll be outside first and a little bit later on.
Hold, fellas, hold.
Okay, so what do they do here? Take the tap, that's what they do. Straight away. Munster, dummies. Granville put him down. Gee, they're under pressure here. Cohen Hess, that was a bad miss by him. That was a way to forward pass, I thought, to Finucane. I think it was Munster at acting half. Anyway, they have the ball, 11 out. Smith again acting half, goes to Munster. Munster, that little gallop, got the pass away on the outside. Oh, they've lost it. And he's got them for inside the 10 again. Oh, he's just hammering it. Well, what do they do now beside the post, because it's been brought in a bit?
I think they go for more than the penalty goal. They feel as though they're on a bit of a roll here, the Melbourne Storm, and frustrated that they missed out on their second try.
Well, this would be the third set of 6 against them in the last couple of minutes.
No,
they're having a shot goal.
Yeah.
Okay, we take a break while they line up the kick. 8-2 to the Storm. So the penalty count to the Storm 5-1. Of the 5, 4 have been 10-metre penalties, and the one penalty was for a 10-metre penalty to North Queensland. But the reason they've got so many penalties, as opposed to North Queensland, they've had all the ball. So North Queensland doing all the defending, therefore they're being penalised for being inside the 10. If it swings around, well, and they apply the same rule, well, you'll probably see the penalty count equal up.
Yeah, and I do think their initial reaction there would have been to think more than take this kick, but... And, well, you think, well, hang on, we're up against North Queensland, quality opposition, all points are precious. It puts us outside a converted try if successful. And Craig Bellamy.
Here he is.
Another good night at the office.
Inside the 20, and that's there, scraped inside. We've got the left hand upright, so 10-2, Storm lead the Cowboys. Just a reminder, VB Friday Night Football, West Tigers, Broncos, Campbelltown, live and free from 7:30 New South Wales, Victoria. And it comes in because of Daylight Saving Week. Finishes on Sunday week, 7 o'clock in Queensland. April 1, Daylight Saving Week, farewell.
Should be a good game, that one. I'm looking forward to watching that one. Tigers, 2 wins from 2. They've only scored 20 points in those 2 wins, but their defence has been outstanding. They got the Roosters and then the Storm, so they're in good form. And the Broncos back to their best last week with their win over North Queensland.
Time you're on, fellas.
Here's Kyle Felt yet again. So they haven't had much possession. We'll get that possession flow chart in a moment from David as the ball's taken by Brady Croft. Goes it back to Bromwich, who comes outside the 11. SFR Solomona. 20 metres out. Adokar with it. Pirouettes away. Geez, there's some weak defence there. He makes another 15 metres on the back of pirouetting out of a tackle. They've got to really start committing themselves to Nukin, because once Melbourne get the sniff and the roll on, it could be a torrid night for the Thurston Cowboys. And then straight through centre field. Oh, the ball's been flicked back. Going past at Munster, then it's been juggled twice, knocked on once. A double knock on the first against Melbourne Storm, so it should be a North Queensland loose and feed, 32 out from their own goal line. And it is.
Well, they've had to do all the defending, North Queensland. A few of their big fellas just starting to get a bit tired. And especially the props, and he's a fine player, this young lad. He's only 22, 6'7", 115 kilos. Not the best of passes, but it's all Melbourne Storm at the moment. They need possession, the Cowboys.
They've only had it for 3 sets, the Cowboys, 11-3. They've completed 11 of 13. The Cowboys have only had it for 3 of 6. And when they have had it, they've lost it half the time. So they need a flow of possession at 10-2. They score and get back to 10-8. Well, things are looking much different. They can do it. Here's Ethan Lowe, who's on the field replacing David Bowen. Scott over halfway, dragging defenders with him, including Will Chambers. First and inside ball. Put down the big lock forward, Jason Taumalolo. 5th tackle. Hampton. He stab kicks downfield. Goes back to Vunivalu. Off the ground, he threw it to Slater, who went past Thurston, who made a snap of the ball. It'll be 6 to go. 0 anyway. So that's 0 now. And Addo-Carr's put down. Tim Glasby comes on for Melbourne. Darren Lockyer's on the touchline.
Yeah, the Storm went wide early in the game, but I think they sensed the Cowboys forwards are fatiguing. Just the body language, Matt Scott, McLean, they're all starting to struggle, so that's where to find them space up the middle.
Curtis Scott will take a little run. As the 14 Glasby gets his first touch.
Yeah, Matt Scott especially is struggling out there. Smith Munster on the short side, really good, strong contact there from Michael Morgan. I don't think Matt will be out there too much longer. Last tackle now for Croft. Oh, that's in
That's got out in the full
row
from the halfback Brady Croft. So it's an easy march back to the 40 and a changeover for North Queensland to give them some respite.
There you've got Scotty Bolton now, the evergreen. He's coming on for Matt Scott. He'll give him a bit of a lift in the middle there, Scott.
Yeah, Scott Bolton out there. He did tickle my fancy. Dave Middleton gave him 1 post-contact metre last week.
Number 1. Who's
Yeah,
got the ball?
Very funny, but you've still got it.
Mate, I like it.
He's still got it.
Just wait. Tell him to wait, mate. Tell him to wait. Tell him to use the foot.
For me.
Use the foot.
It's a stat joke, Paul.
From the stat man.
Thurston. Bolton. Hello.
1-2.
Here we come. Consistency is what it's all about. A 10-metre penalty. It'll be the 6th one of the match.
Asiata coming on now for Jordan McLean.
Liven them up a bit. John Asiata. He can play most anywhere. Bolton, Thurston, Taumalolo. Good tackle around the legs. And Stimson, I think, the try scorer. Granville. Oh, he's got them again. Here we come, the flow of possession. They score a try, get back to 10-8, and it's a different game altogether.
Right here, Jake. On the line. Dale.
Thank you.
Take the tap. Granville to Bolton. He's 5 metres out from the goal line. So let's see if they can capitalise on this weight of possession, the Cowboys. Out the back, Thurston. Drifts across field. Short ball away, straight through. Cowan Hess under the post. Beautiful delayed pass by the skipper, and they're back in the hunt, the Cowboys.
You know it's coming. You know it's coming as a defender. But what do you do about it? Big Cowan Hess into the run onside tonight. Jonathan Thurston holds it back, and delivers the ball at exactly the right moment on the Harvey Norman replay. Good outside in run. That took Cameron Munster by surprise. And Cowan Hess, big back rower, gets another one.
Yeah, he's deadly from close to the line, Cohen Hess. I reckon he was a try-scoring machine last year. I think it might be his second for this year, but from 5 metres out, he's unstoppable. Darren Lockyer on the sideline.
Yeah, just watch Thurston's eyes here. This is how he fools Munster, just with his head placement and where his eyes are. As he goes to the line here, he's looking out the back the whole time, but he knows he's always thrown it to Cohen Hess. So the master at his best.
Well, Cameron Munster, he's only got eyes for Jonathan Thurston. He didn't know that Cohen Hess was there until the big fella had the football in his hands, and by then it was way too late.
And don't forget, it was on the back of consecutive 10-metre penalties, which has been a feature of the first half, and this time the beneficiary, North Queensland. He'll kick this to make it 10-8, so a different complexion of the game almost immediately. So there it is. It is 10-8, the Storm over the Cowboys.
It's a 2-point game now. Just over 12 minutes remaining here in the first half. Melbourne Storm 10. The Disney Cowboys 8. Let's go, Storm.
That's right there, Cam.
And we restart play through Smith after the try by North Queensland. Hampton back away to Bolton on his replacement, of course. Scotty Bolton. Both the front rowers for North Queensland have been interchanged. In from the wing, Antonio Winterstein.
Well, that bomb try from Melbourne, huge turnaround this game. They should have led 16-2. Vunivalu held the pass back too late. We're now 10-8. And the Cowboys getting some possession. Malolo takes the ball forward. It tracks 3. Wrestling down on the halfway line.
Granville, Morgan, inside ball to the try scorer. Cohen Hess, he's gone straight through the big fella. They get him by the jumper. He breaks out of the tackle. Comes to Slater, broke that one too. Inside the 25th tackle. Granville, Asiata, Thurston. Little kick in behind him. Goes back to Vunivalu on the bounce. Met by the defence and put down by Ethan Lowe and 2 others, 9 out from his own line. Hasn't he come alive? Cohen Hess.
Yeah, it's promising by him. He made the Origin team last year, and post-Origin, to me, didn't really do a lot. He didn't improve his game, but tonight we're seeing glimpses of what he can do. He's a great hole runner. High tackle there.
Not illegal. Asiata gets away with it. The crowd don't like it.
And to his credit, corner Scott straight up.
Yep.
Good work there from Jesse Bromwich. I know Cohen Hess, he's causing some real problems for Cameron Munster as the Will Chambers kick over Winterstein's head, but he gets the friendly bounce.
Hampton takes the ball, a little bit of space, but there's defence there. Glasby's the first man there, and they drive him back with Will Chambers. Oh, there's a stink in back play. Glasby having a little contretemps there with the wing 3/4. They separate and exchange unpleasantries. They've lost the ball. Colefeld's lost the ball.
Clock's running, Cowan, Melbourne.
You're happy with the rush?
I was happy with this one.
You called held, and then they're still fighting in the tackle.
Something we've dealt with now, John. Okay, Tim, something we've dealt with, and we're going to have a scrum right here, okay?
What's that?
We're going to have a scrum.
There's not too much in that between
Tim,
those.
we're going to have a scrum here. Thank you.
Winterstein. Jonathan Thurston questioning the referee about the ruck area. Plenty of interchanges in this first half hour. We've got Sam Cassiano out there now for the home side.
Big Sam. Slater. Oh, they rushed up. Granville missed him, but thankfully the 16 was there. Scott Bolton took, no penalty. Stealing the ball on the tackle. Now he's marked him for someone giving him a gobful. And I think it's Hampton, the fullback, he's pointing at.
He was on his back and the ball was stripped. There was only one in it, but he was on his back, mate. So we always rule that way.
We always rule that way.
Did you call held?
I've answered your question. Off you go, mate.
No, you didn't answer my question. I asked him, did you call held?
Jonathan, off you go, mate.
The dispute being that the tackle was not completed according to Jonathan Thurston, therefore the player's entitled in a one-on-one tackle to strip. They go and play on. Glasby in front of the post. Still 8.5 to go to half-time. Oh, Slater smashed in the tackle by Ethan Lowe. Got him right under the rib cage. Smith. Dummy thrown by the little halfback almost through Brody Croft. Held by Bolton. Smith again. Finucane stands in the tackle. Arms are free. Can't unload. Good tackle. Cooper was there. Plays it back now. Smith out wide. Oh, beautiful half volley, but he's into touch anyway. Sulasi Vunivalu. So that's a let-off for the Cowboys. He took the ball, but by the time he took it, he was into touch. Not often you see the skipper make a mistake like that, but it was, and he was well marked anyway. There were 3 blokes out there marking up on him. It's not as if he was on the outside of the defence. You can see that.
Yeah, I think Cameron Smith thought that they might have been a little bit skinny there because Ethan Lowe had come flying in the play before and Jonathan Thurston was coming at him from that short side as the first defender. But Winterstein kept his width and there was no space.
Darren Lockyer down the touchline.
Yeah, Jarvid Bowen is coming back on, but this time with jersey number 19. They didn't have a backup number 4. They haven't had too much blood in his ribs, so Bowen back on in the 19.
Yeah, understandable. They can't put him back on in a bloody jumper. So he's back in number 19, and Ethan Lowe, he did a good job while out there. Thurston, quick hands Morgan, threw it to Caulfield, filled off the ground, taken by Munster. Bit hurried there by North Queensland, just a little bit of panic. Cohen Hess across field now, chased by Munster. And Jarvid Bowen's back on the field now. Back it comes from inside the 40. Michael Morgan downfield, that's out in the full. So they've both done that. The halfback did it, Brody Croft, and now the vastly experienced Michael Morgan's come up with the blue inside the 40. And it will, when it will over the touchline, it was never any doubt.
Michael Morgan, he's been passing well, but so far in the game has not had 1 run metre.
Christian Welsh on the field now as the ball comes inside the Glasby. Here's more pressure. Good defence from the 17. Ethan Lowe stayed out there eventually. He's gone back into the forwards and they go straight through. So Lowe's gone in closer to the action. They play the ball back. From acting half they go straight through and into the in-goal area. And Christian Welsh has only just come on the field. Hang on, they want to have a look. He's only just come on 25 seconds ago.
Barney.
It looked very easy.
I've got tackle 4, mate. I've got try.
We saw Jonathan Thurston hold the ball up perfectly at the other end for a try. Well, Cameron Smith does the same here. He's not a big man, Ben Hampton. And there are others in that. Well, there's the point of the football hitting the deck there. And that will be another try for the Melbourne Storm.
Christian Welsh maintains possession of the ball and grounds the ball in the in-goal area. We have a decision.
And Fatty, just some great dummy half play again from Cameron Smith.
Quick play of the balls, snappy passes from Cameron Smith. And the 2 first try scorers, as the tries given for Melbourne Storm time, normally it's Addo Carr, Vunivalu, but tonight it's Stimson and Welsh. How good to see a couple of back rowers getting the tries. Well done. Darren Lockyer on the sideline, champ.
Yeah, well done the Melbourne Storm. A big rap to Hoffman. It was his run before that took about 3 or 4 defenders. This run here, it's a great line. He takes in about 3 or 4 defenders and they can't get set. And because they're not set, they've got to rush out at Cameron. 1 marker there, he's only just getting up. Bolton has to come in. And then Welsh, jolly on the spot, off his skipper. Well executed.
Jake Granville drifted out there, showed him the hole.
Well, he saw Sam Cassiano.
Yeah.
Cassiano
but I don't think
was
he had to
coming.
go to him, Pete.
No, but I guess Cassiano close to the line, you see him as a threat. The fact that Ethan Lowe had to get involved in the play the ball, he was the man that came in because Ryan Hoffman had made that dent that Darren's talking about. And they concerned about Cassiano, and yeah, you're right, Jake Granville should have held his ground, but under pressure, quick decision making. Pulled the wrong rein.
So back they'll go to 8 in front at 16-8. 6 before half time. He guides it between the uprights. The captain, he goes down to pick the tee up for the young fella who brought it out to him. Big grin on his face, Cameron, as he gives the green kicking to the young man. And back they come. Something that, of course, that Jonathan Thurston started doing in the first instance, and most players do it now as a courtesy. Oh, gee, there was a big gap and a big step. I'd only just noticed him come on with the headband, and he must have been on for a very short space of time, maybe 30 seconds at the most, but he was
first touch, the try.
Wait, fellas.
And the point I was trying to mention the Michael Morgan no run meters. He hasn't had a dash at the line yet. That might suggest that Andrew Johns might be right with his pre-game chat that his groin's obviously not 100%.
Back they come again. Just a reminder, Sunday football live and free. Titans Dragons from Clive Berghofer Stadium in the great city of Toowoomba in the Darling Downs. Live and free from 3 p.m. New South Wales, Victoria, 2 o'clock in Queensland. So the Darling Downs get a taste of rugby league, NRL rugby league. Great rugby league town, Toowoomba. 2 ways you can say it, Paul. Toowoomba or Toowoomba. Toowoomba. Oh, they've lost the ball in the tackle. Well, that's not something you see often from a kick-off after a point scored, and I think it may have been the skipper who put it down. And
he's up now.
He's a bit exasperated, the coach. He lives every moment of the game. There's not a lot of joy there, but there's plenty of angst and plenty of disappointment. I wonder what he does when he gets home. He must be completely drained after a game of football.
I reckon the one thing he wouldn't do is sleep.
No, the coach.
A great opportunity here for the Cowboys in this final 5 minutes before the break to really tighten the scoreline.
Here's Bowen. They've got 4.5 to do something with it before the break. Hampton, Thurston, Bolton. Come blindside, Hampton again. Ball back to Bowen. Oh, he went in behind Cooper there, but he got away with it okay. No defender impeded. Cooper will go to acting half. Back to Granville. Then the ball to Thurston. Inside pass back away to Ethan Lowe. Not much doing there from about 16 metres out where they'll play it.
Well, you'd be trying to get Hess at Munster again, surely.
Heading that way. Ball out the back, Morgan, palmed on, away to Felt, palm to him. He's going to be covered by the defence as he got it from Justin O'Neill. Back the other way, 5th tackle. They'll go to air through Thurston now, coming down the goal line. They go high, the ball's in goal. It's going to be forced. And they'll get 6 more from the goal line dropout with about 3.5 to go to half time.
Very, very difficult kicks to defend against. The flatter one. One kind of in the no man's land there. It's not wide to the winger. A lot of bodies coming through, and eventually it's Joe Stimson after the knockback from Will Chambers that cleans it up. Give a really good opportunity for Chaser, even though there was only one in the form of Gavin Cooper, to contest that type of kick.
Exactly 3 to go by the time they took that drop out. Way to halfway. It's a great kick. Bolton brings it back towards the 30. Stimson there with Walsh. They play it back in Glasby. In the centre field, the big winger, Antonio Winterstein, just outside the 20. Good field position now. At the back, Asiata. Asiata goes to Thurston. Thurston away to Morgan. They've got numbers. Morgan have filled out wide, but he's covered up well. The defence got there. Curtis Scott was there, and so was Josh Adokar. Oh, they've gone blindside and almost into touch. Penalty. Penalty for not marking up squarely, I'd suggest, or inside the 10.
Marcus Ray, you're spot on. Quick play of the ball. That's why Michael Morgan scooted, but
keep an eye, Bucky.
They closed it down quickly.
Keep an eye on the bloke coming in.
They've got 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go here, so there's plenty of time. 15 out, Morgan, Cohen Hess into the defence, and he's up into the tackle, or they're trying to upend him, but they can't get him to ground. Walsh, one of them. Asiata close to the line, through a dummy, then into his own player. Bolton it was. Now at the back, Morgan's going to kick across field. He went very high, Kyle Philp, but it didn't touch. And I don't know that was the right option. With still 90 seconds remaining.
It's a really poor option, Ray. It's a rush of blood.
It was about third tackle, wasn't it?
It's exactly third tackle, and it was a late decision. It was never really on. Adokar had him covered. Now, you are allowed to catch a man in that situation, but you can't interfere dangerously with him. Like in a try-scoring situation, you can make that tackle, but that was pretty clumsy from Adokar, but he's got away with it.
Yeah, Morgan was claiming tackle in mid-air there, but it's a different situation when the kicks.
When it's an attacking player, the rules completely
going for the
different.
try, yeah.
Anyway.
John Asiata's given them a little bit since he's been on as well. I think he filled in. He filled in at 5'8" for a bit last year as well.
5'8", half back. He can play anywhere.
Not yet. Wait yet. Wait. Head in, Cohen. Head in. No. Clock off. Here we go. Feet back. Feet back.
Right on half time.
Feet back until it's in. No more.
30
Just
seconds
feet back
remaining.
till it's
So
in. Heads in. Here we go.
people have brain explosions all the time, but that was a brain explosion by Michael. Third tackle, putting in the air. They had 90 seconds to go. Almost time to force another set of 6. Welsh, 35 metres out from Melbourne. Right on half-time here at Amy Park. And the pass goes out wide to Cassiano. Got the ball back away. Glasby picked up on the half volley. They turned it back away. It was from Scott. Now they throw the ball back. Little chip over the top by Curtis Scott again. Adokar gets through. It's taken by Thurston.
He was held back, Josh Adokar. He was interfered with.
Oh dear.
What about the ball from Sam Cassiano? The flick pass, no look, kept play going. And at the end of it, Adokar interfered with. We take a long-range shot here, Cameron Smith. Yes, he points to the post.
He looks good, Sam. Obviously, he's lost a lot of weight. We can all see that. But he's more mobile. And
what about this?
Stop it. We saw it just out of the corner of the eye, that the flick.
But it was to Glasby of all people as well.
And then the little chip goes over the top, and Adokar, after he's flicked, Curtis Scott, you'll just see him grabbed there from behind by Kyle Philp.
Anyway, it'll be a handy margin going to the break in front of your home crowd, coming off a loss when you haven't lost 2 consecutive games since midway through 2015. He's a Cronulla junior, young Scott, I noted.
He was actually offside, Adokar.
He was, yeah, just saw that.
Well, again, because of penalties, very stop-start first half. Let's hope we get a more flowing game in the second. They looked a better side, Melbourne, but again, it's on the back of seemingly more football.
Penalties 8-4 to the home team at half-time.
There's a shot from behind the uprights, sailing towards them. Touch judges like it. Leather perfect it is. They go to the break. Leading by that margin of 18 points to 8 to Storm over the Cowboys. 18 points to 8 to score.
Of course, the Storm at home to the Cowboys. And good weather.
Beautiful. No, at the top of 21, they said, and they're probably right. Anyway, Melbourne to kick off.
Ready to go, guys? Yep.
And Munster gets us underway with a spiralling kick. They're going to let it bounce here, but it bounces nicely for Thurston, who gives it straight away to Scott Bolton, who's met by a 3-man defence, including Cassiano. And he'll play the ball back. Up there as well to 14, Glasby. Now they bring it outside. The 20-metre mark. Cassiano. Swarm of defenders there again. Ryan Hoffman and Christian Welch. Nathan Lowe with it now, with that hairstyle with the ponytail up. Cooper. Just watching the 10 metres closely here. We had a plethora of penalties in the first half. 12 in total, 10 for inside the 10. Vunivalu with it. Oh, solid defence there. He's driven back on the tackle by Ethan Lowe and Michael Morgan. Slater, Josh Adokar with it. He's put down, 25 out. That's the score line. 1 into the second half, 18-8 to the home side. Just disentangling themselves there. Got the young centre, Curtis Scott, going for a little run. It was him. Basby, Sam Cassiano. Oh, miracle offload, but oh, great tackle. Winterstein came in and hammered the halfback, Brady Croft. Very good defence here. Ethan Lowe again.
Yeah, he's been great, Ethan Lowe, since coming into the game. He come in as a centre, but back on the edge now is Felt. Can make a late adjustment to catch that one.
It's a very high kick from Munster. Hampton. Quick play the ball. Well, that should be a penalty.
Joe Stimson.
And it was Ryan Hoffman in the play the ball. Didn't get out of the area quick enough. He's blowing up. Well, that's a good kick. That is a really, really good kick off the fullback Hampton. 40 out, so they can go straight on the attack on the back of that penalty. 8-5 the penalty count now. 13 in total. Ethan Lowe. They must score first in the second half to have any chance here, the Cowboys. So they have an ideal platform on which to build here. Thurston, dummies inside, goes himself, short ball away to Cooper. He's clung to by the defence. Joe Stimson got him. Back the other way. Asiata close to the line first, and he's thrown the ball back. Oh, it's been knocked on by Morgan, picked up, and away goes Adokar after a pick-up by Brady Croft. But he fell over at the feet of the defenders. He's going to give a penalty away here, Kyle Felt.
Great tackle by Munster 30 seconds ago. It was a ripper. And there's Morgan. Looks like he's feeling his groin.
Hoffman put down by Justin O'Neill over on this right side. Christian Welsh flicked it out the back to his skipper. Away to Croft, dummies, back the other way, but held by the defence. Lowe was there, and so was Granville. Now the pass, a flat one to Cassiano, or forward. That's how flat it was. Don't see that too often from the captain. But the touch judge on this side, I think, was the one that let the referee know that it was marginal, and so here's a chance again. So we'll get another opportunity here, and don't they need it? Oh, geez, I've seen plenty flat like that be let go before. 23 seconds to go on the scrum clock. Sam. He's heading to the scrum for the group up the Storm. Back to Hampton. He got away from the little halfback. He's gone through Hampton. He's still going. Chased from behind by the winger. Vunivalu, who brought him down. He plays it quickly. Here's the great chance. Cooper. Damage to Asiata. Taken into defence of Cassiano and Welsh. Stimson was underneath as well. Thurston. Short ball away. Comes to Cohen Hess. He's trying to unload. Can't get the arms free. Now he'll play it 11 metres out. Granville again. Thurston. Ethan Lowe rattled up in a solid tackle there from Cassiano, but only a metre out from the goal line, right in front of the post. Granville looking left and right, goes left, dummies and goes straight through. It's a penalty. Yeah. The referee's waiting for the advantage. None will come. No, fifth tackle. Well, it's either a penalty, it's not. If he took a defender out, it's got to be a penalty. The crowd unhappy. Here's first and last tackle, kicks over the top. They go high, knock back, it's there. It'll be thrown back inside. No, it won't. They can't get it back inside. It's gone into touch through the centre three-quarter. David Bowen, and it will be a changeover.
It was a blatant obstruction. Well, I'm not sure why it was let go.
Well, he was waiting for an advantage to go to the defending side. None came. You can't just signal fifth tackle.
There it is.
Well, he took 2 defenders out.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to score a try to get a penalty.
You blow the whistle then, don't you?
Well, he had the whistle in his mouth and he looked like he's playing some sort of advantage. And just because a try's not scored doesn't mean the obstruction hasn't occurred. Of course it's occurred. Anyway, it was okay in the end because they didn't score. Hello.
2 tackles in a row, mate. Cohen, Len, and then all you guys here.
It's another 10-metre penalty. The tap is taken by Slater. They've got their back turned and Slater's gone straight through.
Coming back.
Uh-oh. Not on the mark.
Was he given a mark? Crowd don't like it.
No quick taps on a 10-metre penalty, boys.
Oh, of course. No quick tap on a 10-metre penalty.
there you go.
The confusion was, I think, for Billy, he thought it was a marker penalty, but it was a 10-metre penalty, he's saying. And it was a repeat penalty because he said, in his words to the defending side, that's 2 or 3 times I'll let you go, I've got you now. And he mentioned Cohen, Hess and others. So it was a 10-metre penalty, not a marker penalty.
Just there, mate.
A bit of interplay at the end of it between the 2 number 1s, and of course Ben Hampton was a Melbourne Storm player as well. So we're heading north for, I guess, more opportunity.
There's Croft, Smith. He runs hard that young bloke. Avoided with a try, Stimson. Croft. That ball away. Big Sam, he'll unload or he'll try to, but then they wrap him up over the top. Bolton had hold of his arm to make sure he couldn't pass, but looking sharp, Sam Cassiano. Croft, oh, beautiful ball to Slater. No look pass back on the inside, and he's put down 9 out. Great work by the little halfback. Might have been a leg pull there, but the referee says play on. Smith, Glasby at the defence, driven back a metre short of the goal line, but they're under siege here, the Cowboys. Smith, that ball Cassiano, oh, he somehow held up astride the goal line. How did he not score, Big Sam? He hit it at pace. 5th tackle penalty. Sam didn't get up to play the ball.
Play the ball when you can, balance and control.
Can we call him Big Sam still?
Oh, he's still big.
He's big enough.
Jonathan Thurston coming to question the referee now. Once again.
Oh, he couldn't get it down. It ended up on the knee of one of the North Queensland players, Hampton again.
There he is.
And then he didn't get to his feet to play it. What's he done here?
The line for me.
Oh, turn it up, Sam. I think he was fishing for a penalty, a held down penalty.
Now, we've got a head injury with Sam at the moment, and the trainer's with him. In 2018, Rugby League fans can stream all 9 NRL matches live and free on 9 Now.
I have to.
Download the 9 Now app and watch anytime, anywhere across the world.
That's 2 weeks in a row now for Sam Cassiano into the HIA. I'm sure he was dispatched last week as well. Hadn't been out there very long, and there it is. His fair collision.
Yeah. I couldn't convict any of those players, Lowe or Hess, for a high tackle. I mean, it was just contact trying to stop a bloke scoring a try who was coming at pace and with a low centre of gravity. Anyway, they found touch. So a let off for North Queensland. You felt sure that Melbourne would score, but they didn't. They still lead 8 into the second half here. Well, gee, he took off before acceptances there, Cameron Smith, and they let him go. Rushing up out of the line, but Matcha Kim was looking the other way. Bolton. I wonder if the referee's box adjoining us lets him know that people are rushing up. Asiata first and dummies. Oh, it's along the ground. He was knocked over at 6 to go. It's been touched by the Melbourne Storm, and Bolton goes. So that's 0 tackle just short of halfway. Thurston's okay, he's up. That's 0. Morgan inside ball back away. O'Neill. Justin O'Neill put down 42 metres out. Blindside. Granville goes himself. Scurries up to the 30. Right on it, he's put down now by the defence. Ryan Hoffman. And the halfback was there, Croft. Ethan Lowe. The ponytails come undone. Granville dummies again, goes Morgan blindside. Cohen Hess back on the inside. I don't know if I'd be targeting Michael Morgan in his current condition, and they go the same way again. He throws the dummy, Morgan. That'll be the 5th tackle, 6 metres away. Thurston's calling for it now, and he has the ball in his hand. He'll go to the air. It's a low trajectory one. They go high for it. Oh, it's plucked out of the air. Knocked on, I thought.
Knocked on.
Yes, it is, by the centre, Will Chambers.
Yeah, and you can see there the targeting once again with that shorter kick at Brodie Croft, the smaller man than the defensive line. If they can get a contest with that young man there, where the kick just goes a little bit long, it goes over his head. That's the area that they're trying to target. And Gavin Cooper is the man trying to come through.
He's injured too, Cooper. He's copped one, I think, maybe in the back accidentally, or maybe his knee hyperextended when he came down, but he's in the in-goal area. Doesn't look like a knee injury. Looks like he may have just copped it in the midriff around the kidney. He's holding his kidney region.
I think we agree that even though there's half an hour to go, the Cowboys need to be the next to score. Well, this is a golden opportunity.
Tamare Martin's about to come on, Paul. Here he comes now, and a bit like Asiata, he can spark them.
Yeah, well, he's a massive figure in their grand final run last year, and his combination with Morgan was very, very good.
Got a really good dummy and go. Don't want to overread him.
Granville's coming off. He's going along the dead ball line now, so... Well, it looks like his knee, but then he's, watch this, bang. Oh, yeah, the knee hits him. Anyway, he's okay. Scrum fed. Martin was at the base of the scrum. Cohen has straightened hard. They must score. They must score. Down 18-8 if they have a chance. Thurston, short pass to Cooper. He's got great recuperative powers. He's back into the fray. Martin's the acting half again. Tamare Martin goes there. Cooper disentangles. Oh, sloppy play the ball, got away with it. Back to Ethan Lowe. He goes only 6 out from the goal line. Croft was around the legs, 2 over the top. Now the ball, Martin goes blindside. Thurston call for it. That's been knocked down, I think you'll find, by a Melbourne Storm player as Vunivalu goes in the crowd screaming. Why? Well, why? Because I think the referee thinks that a Melbourne hand knocked it down, and that's why there's a scrum to pack down, and there'll be another 6 tackles coming the way. So that's like a repeat set of 6. They're getting towards the end of the tackle count, so a blessing for them.
Yeah, they've been down here a long time now. Will Chambers coming up, as he likes to do, and both teams very keen to come up and in quickly to snuff things out on the inside. All of the Cowboys players to the right of this scrum are about to be, with Winterstein preparing to get involved. Now he's asking Jonathan, what do you want me to do?
I love when the referees coach them how to pack the scrum.
Clock off, feet back.
And it doesn't really make much difference. Morgan inside ball back away. O'Neill. He's only about 5 or 6 metres out. Martin goes to acting half. He's there now permanently. Thurston, short pass away. Put down on the tackle, about 5 out from the goal line now. Asiata plays it. Martin again, short ball back away to Ethan Lowe. Ethan Lowe's held up about 1 metre short of the goal line, struggling, held, comes the cry from the referee. And there's a penalty against Bromwich for not letting him go. He's only just back on the field, Jesse Bromwich, and so he cops a penalty. And this will be virtually the 3rd set of 6. They haven't used them all up, but it's the 3rd set of 6 after the ball was knocked down by Will Chambers, and now the penalty. Hampton, Thurston, Bolton, just a little settler to the 10. Welsh around the legs. Martin goes back to Thurston, left-hand side. Thurston, away to Asiata, steps nicely. Inside the 10, 5 out. Great defence by the Melbourne Storm by the same token. Slater around the legs of Asiata that time. Martin to acting half again. Thurston other side of the ruck. Relays the ball out the back to Hampton. Then away to Morgan. Inside ball to O'Neill. Great defence. Munster there, brought him down. 5 away from the goal line. An assist also from the centre, Curtis Scott. And it's another penalty. It's a penalty-a-thon.
Hold them up, Shorty. Cameron, that's 2 in a row. No more consecutive deliberate ones, mate.
Well, people have been screaming the joint down for years about people creeping up off the goal line when other teams are attacking, and now they're doing something about it, and I suppose people are screaming about that. Thurston, low.
Nice to get a happy mood, wouldn't it?
Oh, well, we'll never get perfection, I can tell you that. We're doing this too long to seek perfection. Here's Thurston, Bolton, but they are very good, Melbourne. Very good, even allowing for the penalty they're conceding. Martin, Morgan, inside ball. The Cohen Hess has for the line. He's over. Can he get it down? I think he did. I think he did. Yeah. We're going to have a look. Let's have a listen.
Kleiny. Tackle 3, mate. We got try. Confirmed grounding.
Well, he's been a terror on the right edge for North Queensland. Looks like he might get his second of the night. Coming back on the inside. He's played a lot of minutes. A lot of bodies trying to stop him. There it is. It's a try, absolutely no doubt. And after
Colin
all
Hess
the
maintains
pressure,
possession of the ball and grounds the ball in the in-goal area. We have a decision.
after all the pressure that North Queensland have exerted in recent minutes, they've finally turned it into points.
Well, they've been here for 10 minutes, haven't they? And you'll see the green light now. But he's deadly. Cohen Hess, I reckon his average try metres is probably, every time he scored a try, he's run no longer than 5 metres. But they can't stop him because he can step off both feet and he's extremely powerful. Darren Lockyer.
Yeah, that was about the 4th time Michael Morgan had done a drop-off play in the last 10 minutes. And this time, Hess, just too much determination and also a bit of fatigue there in the Melbourne Storm because they've had to do a lot of tackling on their own try line. Comes back in there, beats Billy Ryan Hoffman. Got some experienced players there, but that's just the young fella wanting it more.
And like all clubs in the NRL, the fullback slots into the front line of defence that close to the line, and once he goes past the ball carrier, there's nobody in behind once Hess poked through, and with nobody coming front on to stop him.
Here's the kick coming from Thurston to get within 4. It's 18-12. Storm over the Cowboys. Plenty of time left. He should get this one. They're 6 behind. If he kicks it, they're 4 behind. And we have a real game on our hands here at Amy Park in Melbourne. They score first in the second half. And he guides it between the uprights. 18-14 to the Storm.
Under 25 to go, and one try and 4 points is the Melbourne Storm 18. The Cowboys 14. We've got game on.
Mate, just wait for that clock for me. Thanks, pal. You've got about 12 seconds.
Copy, go Melbourne on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
So back they come, the Cowboys at 18-14, 55 gone. And let's see what they do this set of 6 from the kick-off. Bolton. Look at these sets. 9 of 10. You see, that's the possession swinging around on the back of penalties. Not much else. A couple of mistakes, but mainly penalties. And for 5 sets. And they've only completed 2 of the 5, Melbourne, after dominating in the first half by about the same margin. Darren Lockyer's down the touchline.
Yeah, that man just played the ball before this one, Tamalolo. Him and Matt Scott are back on. He's always better in his second stint, Tamalolo.
Here he is, gives the ball away to Asada. Thurston got the ball back to Hampton. Hampton's got some pace. He's down the touchline. He threw it back on the inside. It's plucked out of the air, knocked on.
Forward pass.
Oh, there's a forward pass as well. You've got to complete the set of 6, even allowing for the adrenaline and the excitement of getting the ball way down the other end of the field.
Yeah, look promising, doesn't it? The Melbourne guys are outnumbered, so they backed off and just virtually forced him out over the touchline. Excellent defence. That's what you need to do when they've got the numbers, and just let them make the mistake.
They do indeed. Billions is the show everyone is talking about. It's back for a brand new season on Sunday, but only on Stan. If you want to go into the world of money and revenge, you need to watch Billions, premiering this Sunday only on Stan.
Yeah, just down to Darren Lockyer again. We've got 24 minutes to go as Melbourne win the scrum, Lockie. Brodie Croft last week in a pressure tight situation probably didn't have the influence. We see another test for him in the remainder of this game.
Yeah, well, that's where the Cowboys have got the advantage, haven't they? It's going to be tight in the last 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Then I guess you just put your money on someone like Thurston or Morgan to know what to do. It's a big test for Brady Croft, but a good learning experience.
Been a good set of 6 for Melbourne, I can tell you. 35 out. Croft, inside ball, Glasby with a step. Good work, Tim. He's put down about 25 metres out. 5th tackle. Smith. Munster, short ball away on the last tackle. Round to Slater. Slater for the line. Overhead, and they knocked it on and Butch would try. I don't know whether he could have got there himself, but by gee.
Change of possession.
Dale Finucane was back on the inside. Geez, I'd like to see the replay and hear from Paul and Peter on whether Billy would have backed himself.
Oh,
there.
it looked like from here he just had to fall over the line. Look at this pass. Excellent pass. Slater gets into the hole. He probably wouldn't have got there.
No, he did the right thing.
Well, you have a look. He was tackled short.
Yeah.
Get up, go for a walk, Craig. That's it.
Watch out for the jip rock. Here's a ball back away to Kyle Fett. No, he did the right thing. You're 100% right. You think momentum's going to get him there, but the defence was coming from everywhere, so he did the right thing. And it was Dale Finucane, Pete, I think, that couldn't quite get his hands to the ball. The ball went forward. Here it is. So another let-off, and the score remains 18-14 as we approach the 60th minute. Anyone's game. Martin, Scott, Asiata, away it goes. Cooper on the run around, back to Taumalolo. Then the ball goes out the back now. Bowen, he pushes away from one. He's going to try and unload to Taumalolo, but he can't. They're looking sharp on the left-hand side, the Cowboys. Bowen gets up. Cooper. Hampton, back to Asiata off Thurston. Taumalolo. 5th tackle. Looking sharp at his return. Thurston will go again to the air. High one. Now it's coming down right on the goal line. They went high, it went backwards. It's going to be there for Croft. But, rather I should say Munster. But it came off the Cowboys, so it's going to be a changeover to Melbourne. And they'll have the ball 10 out from their own line.
Yeah, he played it that deliberately, Justin O'Neill, to try and knock it back to some teammates. Hit the ground. Cameron Munster read it really well and let the ball roll into touch. And Melbourne now, they've had a little football in the opening 20 minutes of this second half. They'll have to get some under their belt now and get the ball to the other end. Curtis Scott coming in to help.
They're looking for quick play the ball to try and catch a penalty their way. The time Scott plays it. Croft, nice short ball away, but the tackle affected on Joe Stimson. Quick play the ball again, same way. Smith dummy, back the other way. Finucane crashed to the ground and a back-slamming tackle there by Tamari Martin. 5th tackle. Smith, back away. Croft, a little half-back, puts it high, but he's kicked it straight down Hampton's throat. Takes it 10 out from his own line. He's got plenty of pace, this fullback. Gets on the outside of the first line of the defence through pace and then put down.
Yeah, it's been pointed out before, but just have a look at the way that Ben Hampton catches the football. Yeah, he's got the 10 fingers up. It's very unusual. It hasn't caused him a problem yet.
It's like the AFL catch, but it isn't an AFL mark.
It's only his 5th game as a fullback in the NRL, so he's played in the 5'8". You've seen him play it in the hooking role as well. Yeah, nice. He's getting better every week.
Taumalolo now with the ball, 42 metres out from the Melbourne Storm goal line. This is the 4th tackle. Centre field. Martin out the back Thurston. Inside ball Cooper. This will be the 5th. They'll go to the air again. They've got Thurston left-hand side. There he is. The high kick from Thurston. Vunivalu's under it and took it magnificently. The big winger and pirouettes away from the tackle. He's chased and still going. Oh, in the end, Morgan. He's lost it. He's lost the ball right in front of his own post.
No way.
Yeah, it's his own fault. He's tried to play his ball too quickly.
Scrum hit.
Well, this is a turning point. A major turning point. He took the ball absolutely magnificently. Sam Cassiano has passed the HIA test and he's back, by the way. Here it is. Look at the replay, Pete.
Yep, so he's down now.
Yep. Well,
and he's not getting to his feet. He slams the football down. I know Morgan's still there, but you've got to get to your feet before you put the football down to play it.
Well, it was a dominant tackle by the 5'8" anyway, so, I mean, that gives him a bit more time to disentangle himself, but it was just a brain snap. Now, the number 10's also coming back. Jordan McLean as well, so a couple of changes. Sam's back. Jordan's about to come back. Back to Hampton, lurking at the back of that scrum. So here they are, down by 4, with a chance to draw level and seize the lead. Scott with it now, driving forward, 8 metres out from the goal line. Martin, thirsty, then the pass out the back, came back to O'Neill, good defence by Adokar, came up all over the top of him as he tried to get it to Phil. He had to make the tackle because he left the winger unmarked. Phil, Morgan, Taumalolo, rampaging into the 10. He's got them again.
Cameron Smith.
He's got them again. Cameron Smith,
early,
he
mate.
said.
Gone early on the 10.
Look, I'm not going to go Andrew Johns' way. I've been bluing for years about players standing offside and knowing they won't get a penalty when they're defending their own goal line. The message will sink in eventually. Get back on your line. Here's Scott with the ball now.
Yeah, as long as they're still doing it in July and August.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. But I'm hoping it's short-term pain for long-term gain. It'll open the game up. But I've been screaming my lungs out for probably 10 years about infringements on the goal line, and no one seems to get penalised, and now they're doing it. Taumalolo back on the inside. Martin. Out the back, Thurston. Thurston delays a pass. Inside ball back to Morgan. Morgan had come from that side of the field, the right side to the left side. He's put down. The defence has been exemplary. Magnificent defence. Even allowing for the infringements. Up they go again. Inside ball, Taumalolo.
Well, Kyle Felt's a good target on a last tackle if they want to go high.
No, Martin's juggled it. Gave the ball out the back. Morgan with it. Little stab kick across field. Knocked back. Then knocked on. Cowan Hess goes back for it, but it'll be a changeover. Well, they messed it up completely. And well done to the Melbourne Storm. Under siege, penalties, mistakes, but they maintain their 18-14 lead.
That was a bot's job, that last play. But to tell you what they've done tonight, the Storm, they've handled Jason Taumalolo pretty good. They've got to him early, they've got to him quickly, so he can't get momentum, and they've got to his legs. And as we all know, you can't run without legs. So they've handled him well.
Melbourne Storm through Adokar. Stimson is about to leave the field. Smith, a little bit of confusion at dummy half there. And
No confusion, Ray. Cameron Smith ran deliberately into Matt Scott trying to draw a penalty, and the referee said, not this time.
But he will this
But
time.
again, one later.
Gave it to him one more. Well, the edict's gone out about 10-metre penalties, and they've been consistent as we approach the 66 minutes as they were in the first or second minute. Just a reminder, the Footy Show live from Amy Park where we are with Billy Slater, Jonathan Thurston, and a special guest with Andrew Aaron and Ryan Girdler.
We still have no idea who's going to be happier out of those two great players. With under 15 to go now in Melbourne. Haven't been down this end of the field much in the second half. Munster on the outside to Cassiano. Couldn't get his arms free on.
Well, I was about to say, if things go according to plan, it'll be a penalty-a-thon down this end as well. As the tiring North Queensland Cowboys stand offside.
And you've got to go 6 in front. Or the chance of going 6 in front.
Yeah, I think that's what they'll do, surely. Yeah. Gathering around, they have a rest, and the referee points to the goalposts.
Seconds.
Think about the penalties.
5 seconds.
So they should be leading by 6 shortly again, the Storm over the Cowboys. The Storm were under siege with sets of 6 down the other end of the field, and immediately they got it inside the Cowboys' half. They got a couple of piggyback penalties, and this one will lead to a kick a goal from Cameron Smith from 23 metres out. And just off centre, he'll throw this one over and give them that 6-point advantage, which means the Cowboys at best can draw level.
Peter and I, we caught up with Michael Maguire, the referee's, what is he, coach, instructor, teacher. Anyway, he was saying that what the play the ball rule is now is we all think as soon as the ball hits the ground that you can rush up. It actually has to be in the process of being played. So it's only a second, right? But players are still rushing up when the ball hits the ground. That's the problem, he said.
It's got to clear the ruck. It's in fact always been in the rule book but never enforced. Here's the kick from Smith. And he's guided it between the uprights. All they're doing is enforcing a rule that's been there for a long, long time. Darren Lockyer is down the touchline.
They say you score points off the back of your defence. Now, if the Melbourne Storm going to win this tonight, the statistic at the moment, played in the opposition 20, is 32 to the Cowboys to the Storm's 11. So their goal line defence, the Melbourne Storm, has been outstanding tonight.
Lucky, you've got to go deep, mate.
Thank you, Darren. And back we come to the centre of halfway.
And for the Cowboys, I think the key man, or a key man, comes back into the fixture, and that is Jake Granville.
Time you run.
Tamari Martin was there for a little while Granville was on the sideline, but he's back out there now for the final 12, 13 minutes, and he can spark something from dummy half.
He can scoot, can't he?
Yeah, and he takes the pressure off the playmakers, the first receiver playmakers.
Well, this will bring rain. It's gone high. They take it through Croft to look for a runner, and Big Sam was looming up, but Croft took the tackle. Now here's Sam this time. Times his run and put down by Scott and Taumalolo, with McLean back out there. Asafar Solomona back into the fray as well, struggling free of the tackle. Oh no. That's a shocking error.
That was a poor pass from Jesse Bromwich.
Hand over here.
He never had good control of it, did he?
Sorry, boys.
You'd want to hope that doesn't hurt him. And it might. 40 metres out, attacking scrum.
Well, Matt
Yeah,
Chikin thought it was the last tackle. He said hand over here. Then he's offside. I said no, mate. Alan Shortall said no, we'll pack a scrum because it was not the fifth. Now Kyle Phelps been injured in diving in to get that loose ball. They're all stacked on the left-hand side now. So Adokar stays out here, while they have 6 on the left-hand side, North Queensland, against 5 defenders. In they go, and that's the way they go. Goes to Thurston. Short ball back away to Cooper. Cooper's held up on the tackle now. We're in for a barnstorming finish if they can score a converted try as we go to the 70-minute mark. Granville. Scott. Who will spark the magic from North Queensland? Granville, Thurston perhaps. Pass out the back to Morgan. Oh, the ball down the field, but well marked by Adokar. He's going to be put in. No, he did well. He did well. He resisted. O'Neill, Morgan again, Thurston. They move up quickly. Back on the inside they come now. Put down on the tackle. Jordan McLean, 11 out from the goal line. Granville goes the blind side. Morgan, dummies still going. Held up by Hoffman. He won't get through, but he's only a metre out from the line. Granville again, Thurston, 5th tackle. He's going to go with the same kick again, and they palmed it back. It's going back for Hampton to try and tidy up. It'll beat them into touch, and it will be a changeover. That was a North Queensland player who palmed it backwards to no one.
Well, they put good pressure on the kicker, Jonathan Thurston. They didn't give him time to get it exactly how he wanted it. He'd have liked it a little bit deeper and a little bit closer to the try line. There's Gavin Cooper. He swiped it back 30 metres. Did notice both sides out there in the warm-up. Contact there, first carry for Brandon Smith.
Brandon Smith, get that into you.
A lot of players were practicing their drop goals before the game.
The boy from Bega, Finucane, goes to halfway. Short ball away. He's had another crack.
Good on you, Brandon.
Yeah, just watch this young man. He's the heir apparent to Cameron Smith down the track.
They're offside here, North Queensland. I wonder if he's playing. He's had 3 goes in 3 sets. 5th tackle. He'll scream at them to come back with him. Little kick, Munster. Beautifully weighted kick and palmed over the touching goal line by the fullback, Ben Hampton.
Yeah, lovely kick. Fantastic.
Well, Brodie Croft called that. He was going to take a field goal. And he's just having a word with Cameron Smith there. Now, if they don't score in this 5 tackles, don't be surprised that Croft tries to put his side 7 in front. He wanted it on the far side, and it came to the short side. And Brodie Croft, he did kick a field goal to win last year in, I think it was Golden Point.
Here's
against
the
the
drop
Cowboys.
out over the 40. Next comes a Munster. Finucane.
He's had a great game for Finucane, hasn't he? He's just everywhere. Just takes the ball up. Former Canterbury player, been down the Storm a couple of years now. A really good player.
Jesse Bromwich. Smith one-handed pick up, goes right. Back it comes. Front rower Nelson. Safa Solomona. Got up the player. They're going to go blindside to Slater. And waiting for the penalty here. They're all offside out the side. And they've gone themselves into the in-goal area. This will be a try and probably the ball game. Will Chambers has gone, put the ball down.
He seemed
the referee points at the spot.
He just seemed to catch them unawares. They weren't expecting a dummy half scoot. They had their eye on the big picture, what was going to happen out wide, and Chambers just seemed to stroll over there. The defence didn't really move off the try line. Look, got him.
Yeah, it's a quick play the ball on the Harvey Norman replay. Markers were slow up after Billy Slater was tackled. They only get the one there, and the A defender, which is Gavin Cooper's way too wide. The speed of the play the ball caught them out.
Yeah, what about Billy? How good's Billy? We love him for everything he does in the game, but smart play there. Good, quick play of the ball. Got up, let the ball hit the ground, then played it properly. Fantastic.
And O'Neill comes from the right-hand side back behind him at dummy half, but then when he gets past Billy, he jinks back again to the right. And I was watching out wide for them all standing offside, and there he was. Over to score.
Now we've got Croft looking to convert here, and it's an important conversion to put the team 2 converted tries in front.
You'd have to wonder why Cameron's not kicking. He might have a slight injury, but
especially from that side of the field.
Big kick for the youngster. What's he got? Oh, hello.
He's got it all.
Got everything.
That's why it's kicking. 26 points to 14. Darren Lockyer's on the touchline.
Yeah, we gave Billy a rap for the play. The ball, the Safa Solomona, the play before that too. Said Thurston around the legs, and then he was late to get back. Thurston around the legs again. Quick play of the ball. Tamalolo, he's gassed. Just the speed of the play ball got the Cowboys. They're on their last legs.
He's still not happy. He's a funny man.
Do you reckon he ever has an easy night?
No.
Stay behind.
No, I'm sure there have been nights that finished easy, but for the 80 minutes he just absolutely is in pain. Now this might go towards the dead ball line. Oh! He's pulled it up Croft just inside the dead ball line. That's very good play off a great low trajectory kick. VB Friday Night Football, West Tigers Broncos, Campbelltown Stadium, live and free from 7:30. Daylight saving time, New South Wales, Victoria, 7 o'clock in Queensland.
Pete and I played against Craig for a long, long time. Canberra, he was in their 82 original side. He was a very good centre. Finished up playing lock forward. He's always intense as a player, wasn't he, Pete, as well?
Yeah, and
gave 110% every time he played.
Really good utility player, I suppose, in some ways. He could play a lot of positions in the back line. He was part of a grand final winning squad. And his coaching over a decade has been quite remarkable.
He's the best.
No doubt about that. Here's Slater. There's a great offload from Jesse Bromwich there, round the corner to Billy. 5th tackle from 40 metres out, low trajectory one to slow things down. Kyle Felt goes back for it, takes it, gives it back away to Hampton, who comes in field, but the man that kicked the ball's up there to make the tackle. Talk about freakish players. Cameron Smith, honestly. He just keeps going. So does that bloke Thurston.
I don't know why he didn't convert. I'm keen to find out. It was a big kick in the context of the game. He nailed it, Brodie Croft.
Well, he hooks a handy backup kicker.
30 out. Thurston. Oh, he's lost the ball, Colin Hess. He sort of propped at the tackle, and it was that little bloke Smith again, wasn't it? Brandon Smith. He's built close to the ground, but by gee, he's tough and nuggety.
Oh, he can play. You'll see plenty of him in the years to come in the top grade.
Got legs like tree trunks.
Pete, is he a back rower or is it
No, he's a hooker.
Dummy half,
yeah,
right?
He'll come in for Cameron Smith when he leaves the game.
In about 5-10 years.
In his 40th year. Smith now from 28 metres out, so they've got the game at their mercy with a 3.5 to go. The Storm weathered the storm from the North Queensland side. They got within 4 at 18-14. They had their chance, but it wasn't to be. Back on the inside they come. Solomona back to Smith. Thurston from behind. He got the ball back to the big fella. Solomona, he'll be hard to stop. He's in goal and got it down try. Nelson, Asafa Solomona scores to make it 30 points to 14 with a kick to come. Who takes the kick, Fatty?
Might be Brodie again, but he deserves the try. He's had 2 really good stints out there, Nelson. Runs strongly, offloading. Got a great little step on him for such a big man.
And watch how he gets in low. For a big man, he gets in low on the Harvey Norman replay. When he gets close to the line, he gets the football back.
The late pass, but his elbow didn't hit the ground, so that's all right. So he set it up, gave the ball to Cameron, and then scored it.
Great work. Great work.
Well, Cowboys are claiming that Cameron Smith was tackled here because his hand hit the ground. Well, it was the right hand. The ball carrying hand was okay. Look at him duck. Duck gets down low. Not hard to stop. Impossible to stop.
Important point that Peter made. It's not the ball carrying hand. He was unloading it there. He had the other hand propping himself, and that's completely legal. The tackle's not completed. The ball did not touch the ground in the hand of which it was being carried. Same kicker, Brodie Croft. Inside the final 2, so the score not indicative of the contest we've seen at either 30-14 or 32-14, but they have fallen apart at the seams in the last 10. Here he is now.
Yeah, can't.
No goal.
Cheers, you're hard, Mark.
He's legless. Get him off.
You're hard, Mark.
He's actually had a pretty good game tonight, Brodie Croft. Played really well.
Well, you know, there are expectations. He's coming from one of the greatest players in the game, and he's done well.
And he'll have learnt from last week.
Cameron Smith's come off for the last 2. 30 points to 14, the Storm. 90 to go. Don't forget, when we leave you, the footy show starts. Aaron, Andrew Johns, Ryan Girdler with Billy and JT. And a big announcement from JT in relation to the bushfire appeal. Here's the ball with Croft again. So we edge towards full time. 30 points to 14. They avenged the loss last week to the West Tigers. And the Cowboys are 1 from 3. Right on halfway. Brandon Smith is there with acting half with the captain getting a breather for the last 90 seconds. In fact, make that the last 1 minute. There he is again, Smith. Out the back. Oh, good ball inside. Solomona again. Good defence. Dragged him down. Cooper it was. They go right-hand side. He stab kicks into touch. Croft. Nice play. Slows play down. Knows there's only 45 seconds to go and knows they've got the game won at 30 points to 14. So the scrum will pack down. No doubt there'll be debates tonight and through the week about the number of penalties we're seeing for 10 metres.
Put them together.
Well, that's 20 penalties tonight, Ray, which is the average again so far this year.
Like you say, as long as we're not still talking about it in July or August.
Wait for the outcome,
And as long as it's consistent until the message sinks in. The one I really worry about is that penalty, you know, that we didn't get on the goal line, and players just know they can keep doing it last year and the year before, knowing they won't be penalised. You know?
Well, look, the coaches know by now and the players know by now that there's just going to have to be more discipline, especially on their own trail line.
Here's the ball to Cohen Hess, held in the tackle now. There's a full-time siren. 30 points to 14. The Storm return to the winning list over the Cowboys most emphatically.
He hits it, he's got it! He's got the field goal!
Championship.